Welcome to The Explainer. Look, there is so much noise and outdated advice out there right now about moving abroad. So today, we're cutting right through all of that to look at the hard data. We've dug deep into the latest research to uncover exactly how you can successfully relocate using fully funded scholarships and employer-sponsored visas. Forget the rumors you might have heard about closed borders. We're going to look at the direct, viable pathways that are wide open today and show you exactly how to take advantage of them.
Okay, 85 million. When I first saw that number, it genuinely blew my mind. According to the World Economic Forum, by the year 2030, the global economy is going to be short a staggering 85 million skilled workers. Just stop and really think about that scale for a second. Entire industries are facing a massive, massive void. So what does that actually mean for you? Well, it means the old narrative has completely flipped. Countries aren't trying to keep people out anymore. They are actively competing for the right talent. If you have the skills they desperately need, borders are absolutely opening up for you.
But as you can probably guess, you aren't the only one noticing this monumental shift. Last year alone, there was a 22% surge in international university applications. Global ambition is at an all-time high right now. People all over the world are recognizing these severe shortages and they're making their move. Now, yes, that means the competition is getting fierce. But as we're about to see in the data, because the demand is just so incredibly high, the actual opportunities have literally never been broader or more accessible than they are right now. To make sense of all this, we're mapping it out across 5 distinct steps. 1. The global mobility boom. 2. Fully funded scholarships. 3. Sponsored IT jobs abroad. 4. Sponsored caregiver jobs abroad. And 5. Your application roadmap. Let's dive right into part 1, the global mobility boom, a world seeking talent. We're basically witnessing a perfect storm of demographic and technological shifts. On one hand, rapidly aging populations across the developed world are creating a staggering 10 million healthcare worker deficit globally. Entire healthcare systems are feeling the strain. Then, on the other hand, you have the explosive boom in AI, cloud computing, and digital services, meaning tech sectors are absolutely starving for talent. To combat this dual crisis, nations are literally throwing out the old immigration rulebooks. They're actively creating fast-track visas and deploying fully funded academic pathways just to get you through their doors.
Which brings us to part 2, fully funded scholarships, the full-ride academic route.
We really need to dispel the biggest myth out there right now, which is the idea that studying abroad is just entirely out of your financial reach. 100% fully funded scholarship literally covers everything. We are talking your full tuition, your round-trip flights, and comprehensive health insurance. They even give you a monthly stipend for your rent. Yes, that means someone else is effectively paying for your groceries while you study. These programs are designed with one incredibly clear goal: removing all financial stress so your only focus is becoming an exceptional student and a future leader. Now, the secret here isn't just spamming out generic applications. It's about finding the exact right fit for your specific background. Take the UK's Chevening program, for instance. If you have just 2 years of work experience and can show some real leadership potential, they cover absolutely everything. If the US is your ultimate goal, the Fulbright program is highly prestigious with full tuition and generous stipends, though you do need to apply via your home country's commission. Or consider Germany's massive DAAD program, which hooks you up with a steady €934 monthly stipend. The capital is out there, guys. You just have to align your personal profile with the right program. Moving on to part 3, sponsored IT jobs abroad, the tech talent route. Now, if going back to school isn't your chosen path, the technology sector is practically begging for skilled professionals right now. The sheer volume of open roles is wild. The United States currently has over 500,000 open positions. Canada is sitting at 220,000 vacancies, and the UK has 130,000. Combine just those 3 nations, and you're looking at nearly 1 million vacant tech positions. These countries are facing a major bottleneck. They simply cannot digitize their economies or really even maintain their competitive edge without international talent stepping in to fill these critical roles. And the perks for filling these gaps? Phenomenal. If you specialize in high-demand fields like cloud computing, data engineering, or AI, US salaries are exceptionally high, frequently pushing past $150,000 on H-1B or L-1 visas. But beyond the money, the typical bureaucratic red tape is actually being slashed. Canada's global talent stream can process a tech work visa in as little as 2 weeks. 2 weeks! You could barely plan a standard vacation in that amount of time. Meanwhile, the UK has specifically tailored a skilled worker visa targeting these exact shortage occupations to get you working faster. All right, part 4.
sponsored caregiver jobs abroad, the healthcare room.
We touched on the aging population earlier, but the resulting demand for caregivers is absolutely staggering when you look at the raw data. The US alone is projecting 700,000 vacancies in this sector over the next decade. Germany is currently short 200,000 workers, and the UK urgently needs 150,000. It is so vital to understand that this isn't some temporary blip in the labor market that'll just resolve itself next year. This is a permanent demographic shift. And for you, that translates directly into long-term, rock-solid job security. But what makes this specific route incredibly compelling is what happens after you arrive. These heavily sponsored roles, like care assistants, personal support workers, and home care aides, don't just offer an immediate paycheck. They frequently come with built-in, fast-tracked pathways to permanent residency. For example, Canada actively prioritizes healthcare workers in their express entry streams, essentially putting you right at the front of the line. The UK offers a dedicated health and care worker visa with lower processing fees, and generally, all you need to get started is basic caregiving training, a language test like IELTS, and an employer job offer.
Finally, Part 5, your application roadmap, strategy and execution. Knowing these pathways exist is really only half the battle. Your execution is everything. When you're applying, you absolutely must flip the standard narrative. Every single year, scholarship and visa committees get thousands of generic applications from people claiming, I am passionate and I want to change the world. To be totally blunt, they reject generic passion. What they actually reward is highly specific, impact-driven storytelling. Instead of broad statements, you need to tell them about a complex local problem you actually solved and the real measurable impact you had. You have to show them your exact value. Don't just tell them you care. To guarantee your success, you need a disciplined, almost obsessive roadmap. First, build a spreadsheet immediately to track all deadlines, specific requirements, and visa types. Do not rely on your memory for this stuff. Second, ruthlessly refine your documents. Tailor your statement of purpose to every single role and get your language tests out of the way early so you aren't scrambling at the last minute. And third, apply broadly. Never rely on a single application panning out. Aim to submit your documents to a minimum of 4 scholarships or sponsored jobs simultaneously to mathematically maximize your odds. While digging through the research for this explainer, I found this quote that really stood out to me. It speaks volumes about the actual reality of global mobility. It says, the students who win fully funded scholarships are not necessarily the most qualified. They are the most prepared. I think that is incredibly empowering. It proves you don't need a flawless academic background to move abroad. You don't need to be a certified genius with a perfect GPA. You just need relentless, highly organized preparation. The people who win these coveted spots are simply the people who plan the best. The global mobility boom isn't some distant future event. It is happening right now, all around us. The vacancies are real and measurable, the scholarships are fully funded and waiting to be claimed, and the visas are actively being fast-tracked by governments desperate for your exact skills. The only missing piece in this entire equation is your application. So, if the borders are open and the funding is literally sitting there waiting for the right candidate, what's your excuse for not starting your preparation today?